Hello, MMA Tribe, friends, family, students, and anyone else who's stumbled upon my live video this morning. Hey, I wanted to share a meditation that I had this morning on what I think is a very important topic, and it's come from a few things. I was giving lesson of the weeks this week about the stripe test and it being a progress check and how important it is that we use our progress checks to learn things in life. And I was, um, you know, in yesterday's stripe test, this was the first thing kind of started it. Little girl student of mine who's a black belt candidate. She's at the step right before she's going to test for a black belt in September. And there was a part of the testing where there was some remedial work on some things, and it's hard work, and I could see that the girl was emotionally distraught when I called them back together. So my lesson of the week actually changed a little bit because I could tell what's going on, and I talked to her about the fact that it's okay to feel that you have to work on something. It's okay to be nervous about it. It's okay, all the things. What it's not okay is to draw the conclusion that I'm not good enough and I can't do this because I'm struggling. And we talked about that. And I have a meeting later with a student, and that's the subject that's down for it, is that he just moved into level 3 and he's feeling like, oh my gosh, all this is new and hard, and he's wondering if he's good enough to do it. And on a much more serious note, there are young adults that are struggling with feelings of inadequacy and feelings of, am I good enough? And here's what I want to say. First of all, I want to share in transparency that I dealt with such feelings through the first 3 decades and into the 4th of my life. And not saying that every once in a while it doesn't still happen. But of course I got it under control. And look, certainly not insinuating that has always served me well. On the contrary, it's much better to raise confident, competent people. That's why our mission at Krav Maga Martial Arts is to develop confident and competent black belt leaders prepared to survive and thrive in any situation and empowered to lead where they're at and into their futures. Maybe that's why I'm so passionate about it. But here's what I want to share today, is that as I think back upon that thing, the thing that has served me well, the reason that I have had some relative success in life in many areas, is that I've always had that feeling, and it's always made me work harder. It's always made me want to become better and learn more and work harder and try harder. And I never let the feeling of, am I good enough? I never answered that feeling in a way that shut me down from continuing to try. On the contrary, I used it as fuel to go. So the point of the lesson is that just like with that little girl that's going to take her black belt test, or that young lady, obviously that little girl that's going to take her black belt test, it's not about having the feelings or not having the feeling. The feeling is okay. What it's about is how we react to the feeling. Like all things in life is 10% what happens and 90% how we react to it. So even in dealing with this emotion, it's how we react to the emotion that makes the most difference in the world. So am I going to use this as a reason to quit, to shut down, to be paralyzed with inaction? And that's rather a young adult starting a career, young lady taking her black belt test, or whatever is the thing. The thing is just the thing. The battle, in this case, is defeating the enemy in our mind that says we're not good enough. And the only way we defeat him is through action. That fuel is fuel to shut down, or it's fuel to take massive action and to prove, not to the world, not to your father, not to anyone else, but to prove especially to yourself that you are worthy, you are able, you are capable. And listen, I know probably most people listening to this message probably already know that, but you know what? You love someone, I guarantee, because we all do. You love someone who's going through this struggle. If anyway, well, maybe you can share this with them, you know. Um, but the thing is to remind them that it's okay to have the feeling. There's not something wrong with them if they're feeling that they're not good enough. But they need not to accept that as truth. Instead, they need to take massive action. And this morning, by the way, I started reading a book, a new book called The Obstacle is the Way, Ryan Holiday, and it's based on Stoicism. It's great. I mean, I think it's going to be great. I read the introduction. It seems it's going to be great. The basic premise of the book is that the obstacle is the way. In this case, the obstacle is that feeling of inadequacy, that feeling of, am I good enough? And his point is that the obstacle doesn't have to stop us. The obstacle can be the thing that indeed propels us, that tests us, that develops the muscles that help us to do the thing and to find the success and happiness and joy and acceptance and all the things, right? And all the things come from fighting through that feeling, from taking the actions, and from becoming good enough because you choose to do that. You can choose to be stopped, or you can choose to keep going. And as is the case in so many things, the prophecy, the destiny, the reality is in the choice. Prepare to live, empower to lead. I'm Shan Steve of Krav Maga Martial Arts, and I hope to see you again real soon.